standen beim World Cup of Darts 2012 im Finale. Ein Jahr, das bei ihm wunderbar verlief, konnte das Halbfinale bei den European Darts Championship erreichen und damals auf dem Weg unter anderem den großen Phil Taylor bezwingen. Auch ihn heißen wir herzlich willkommen, The Rebel, R.Huybrechts. R.Huybrechts tritt an gegen den erfolgreichsten spanischen Dartspieler überhaupt. Als er bei der Weltmeisterschaft 2015 plötzlich am Achtelfinale stand, schrieb er spanische Dartsgeschichte. Er hat ein tolles Jahr 2017 bislang hingelegt, hat schon 2 Halbfinals auf der European Tour erreichen können. Aktuell steht er auf Weltranglistenplatz Nummer 27. Die Rede ist von The Spartan, Reyes.
It's Spain v Belgium here in East Germany for the Happy Bet International Darts Open as Reyes takes on R.Huybrechts. Ronnie looking to follow in the footsteps of his younger brother Kim, who's blasted his way through to the final day of action with a 6-1 victory over Christian Kist. Can Huybrechts knock out a seeded player? All the seeded players so far have made it safely through the second round. But Ronnie comes into this having beaten Peter Wright on the European Tour just a couple of weekends ago, and he's hit some form, R.Huybrechts. In the last 12 months he's made a couple of finals on the Pro Tour. He's playing some good stuff since we came back from that break in August. And Reyes, having made a Euro Tour semi-final this year, is looking to set up a potential last 16 showdown with Peter Wright, a man who has been his nemesis on the Euro Tour for so long, but he did finally get that big win over him earlier on this year. Are we going to see another Reyes-Wright clash on the Euro Tour, or will R.Huybrechts win? Will Chris Quantock overcome Peter Wright? We'll have to wait until tonight to find that one out. But it's the Rebel versus the Spartan, the asset in the commentary box for me, Dan Dawson.
Game on.
Anybody who wants to get into the world of darts now, if you've got a nickname, take the off. There's too many the's. The Spartan,
so it says the asset?
Yeah, I was in the realms of the the's.
Right.
Now there's too many the's.
Okay.
But there's only one Spartan now.
There is, you're right.
There is no longer an African Spartan. He's now the African
warrior.
So,
100.
Reyes has displaced the other one. Very much like when Colin Osborne was the wizard. Wizard Whitlock came along and
41.
cast a spell on Osborne and called him Ozzy.
Yeah, stole his nickname.
However, Reyes, number 16 seed, he's quite familiar with that position.
Yeah, he is.
He wasn't playing in Mannheim, was he?
40.
I don't believe he was, no.
He wasn't able to make the qualifier.
Ah, is that the reason?
So he wasn't there. So he's had a couple of weeks off to refresh. A man who does more travelling than most. He's up there with John Michaels
59.
and Kyle Andersons, who probably have more air miles than Richard Branson. Hence my petition to get the Tenerife Masters up and going. Just to give Christo a tournament at home for a change.
You know, Gibraltar's about as close as it comes, and it's still a proper flight for Christo as Ronnie fills it up for the first maximum. Well, he beat Ted Everts in the first round, 6-4, R.Huybrechts, and for most of that game he was averaging over 100. By the end, it had dropped considerably to around about 94. But he was playing some really, really solid stuff against Ted Everts for most of that game. And if he does something similar against Christo here, he's going to give himself a chance. Oh, that's a curious decision from Ronnie there. I can understand why if Christo was on a finish, he might stay there because he liked the lie to try and hit treble 20 and leave a double. But we've talked about R.Huybrechts being old school, and you would think that it'd just be straight at the bullseye for that with 82 left and 2 darts.
I'd go so far to say that was a bit of a mental mistake from R.Huybrechts. I was convinced he was going to go for bull on that 82.
Okay, double 10.
Has something happened in the practice room, which meant that he wants double 10 instead of double 16. It doesn't really matter as long as you hit that double. And in that leg, he did it with a break of throw.
Ronnie Huybrechts in the very first leg of this has gone a couple of ways that surprise me, and you do not expect that from Ronnie Huybrechts. There's nothing wrong with going treble 14, double 10. There are plenty of players who do. I think Michael Smith's one of the guys who uses that route. But
97.
Ronnie, you know, we talked about it all the way through his game with Ted Everts. He's a guy who goes the old ways, the established ways.
He loves double 16.
100.
Yeah, very odd.
Has he fallen out with it?
Oh.
I'll have to call Jerry Springer and see if they need to have some sort of reconciliation.
Oh.
Well, he's having an affair with double 10 right now, and it's working out.
81.
Is Christo going to be a little bit rusty after a few weeks off? Well, a couple of weeks off, sorry.
60.
Back earlier in the year, Christo was playing the best darts of his life.
Well, I mean, we've said that periodically, probably every 6 months since he came to the PDC. Played his best stuff of his life to qualify for the Worlds for the first time as a nobody. And then his first year, and he was getting better and better. And the next year, he was getting better and better. And this year, he's got better and better and getting further in tournaments and beating players that he hadn't beaten before. You know, Cristo Reyes
86.
held the average, the world record for the highest losing average at a World Championship. He didn't hold it for very long, but he averaged 106 against Michael van Gerwen and tested MVG, got about as close as anybody at the World Championship to Michael van Gerwen. Admittedly,
59.
Raymond van Barneveld then broke that world record with 109, but he didn't get as close as Christo got to him.
134.
It's more like it. You can just see Christo settling down into this one.
Whereas Ronnie Huybrechts had options in the last leg, he doesn't really have any here. That's the first one. Treble 19. Back upstairs. Trying to leave double 14.
99.
But the pressure is on Reyes now.
Treble 17 and bull. And he'll go back upstairs.
57.
Just get the feeling that Christo was searching for some rhythm. Ronnie Huybrechts is in very good touch right now, and he's back in love with double 16. Of course he is. I mentioned he's having an affair with double 10. We've seen them both at the same time. Nothing wrong with that as a dart player. You can have 21 affairs if you want.
43.
All the doubles in the bullseye, as long as you keep hitting them.
Well, Christo's in danger here
140.
of seeing the Rebel just tear off into the distance and giving himself too much to do. Because he's been very much second best so far in this game, Cristo Reyes.
134.
I don't know how you feel about this situation, Dan, but I feel Ronnie Huybrechts is... He's not just confident right now, but he's genuinely enjoying playing because he's got the Grand Prix to look forward to. Dublin next week, we've got Players' Championships there.
140.
He's got great stuff to look forward to, and when you've got that, you want to practice, you want to play it. It's easier to practice for things like that
45.
than to put in the hours to get better and go through changes. There's nothing wrong with the Huybrechts game right now. He's just ticking over, and he's like a Rolex.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
91.
He played some really good stuff in the last time out on the European Tour, which not only got him to the Grand Prix, but it put him in a position where he was
96.
very likely to make the European Championship. By qualifying for this one here, we think that he's nailed, and winning his first game, he's going to be there. So all of a sudden, that's several £1,000s for Ronnie Huybrechts. Oh, look at this. Moves the wire. But he's going to come back, and this is for a double break and 3-0. And Cristo Reyes just not at the races at all.
97.
This is very reminiscent of when I first started watching Ronnie Huybrechts play back at the European Championship when he took out the power.
Shot on the 30.
He wasn't missing back then, and he's not missing now.
Well, legs Ronnie to throw first. Game on.
Well, we've just seen an average of almost 100 from his younger brother Kim. R.Huybrechts Senior is averaging in the mid-90s. And just looking comfortable. Very comfortable. He's not got a PDC title to his name, but he has come very close. I mean, he missed darts to beat Simon Whitlock in Dublin almost 12 months ago exactly in the final. That was the start of Whitlock's resurgence. But he did make another Pro Tour final this year as well, Ronnie. He's been threatening. He's not doing it week in, week out, but he's going through little spells where he is playing some good darts and beating, you know, those two finals, beating Peter Wright, throwing a 9-darter earlier this year. You know, these good days for Ronnie Huybrechts, they're becoming a little bit more regular. And it only needs to happen for him at a big TV tournament, whether it be the European Championship, whether it be the World Grand Prix. And it can get you through a round that you wouldn't otherwise have done. And, yeah, things can happen. We talked about Brendan Dolan, who was going to quit the game before he ended up having that magical run to the World Grand Prix final, and it changed his career, changed his life. Ronnie Huybrechts, at 52 years old, has still got a game that can worry the best players in the world. And if all the stars align, he can pick up some serious money and do some damage, and maybe something special could happen.
Is this the point in the day where we say that Ronnie Huybrechts is the best player not to have won a Pro Tour title?
Well, I think the bloke he's playing right now is a serious contender for that.
Very good shout.
I mean, he's number 28 in the world rankings, Cristo Reyes. But he's getting a bit of a schooling from Ronnie Huybrechts at the moment because... Yeah, I mean, there you go. That'll do. That'll leave tops. Coming back to have a go at it. 3 clear darts. And Cristo Reyes is just nowhere near again. It was a decent setup shot, but I'm not sure he's going to get a go.
It might be academic. This has got to go in. That's a great lie. Didn't use it. 10s.
20.
On the wire. Reyes needs this. No hesitation. Single 20. Double 16. Yeah, that's nice. He gets a sniff. He takes it. Still 3-1 Huybrechts, but that was a valuable, valuable break back.
Yeah, and you know what? In about 15 minutes' time, that could be the moment that the game changed. Although, look at what Cristo's done here. He's ticked off 36. Can't believe it, the Spartan.
Yeah, that game with Ted Everts last night was interesting, wasn't it? Because Huybrechts went out like a steam train, and then gradually Ted Everts found his range. I think he missed one shot later on just to take it a little bit further, and Ronnie Huybrechts took out a really good shot at the end.
100.
Yeah, we could have gone to a deciding leg.
It could have. And Ronnie's demeanour at the end of that match was phew.
Yeah.
He wiped his brow and had a chat with Elmar afterwards. It was a story of 2 halves, really, that game.
100.
But Ronnie Huybrechts ultimately had just about enough against good young player in Ted Everts.
Yeah. You'll hear no argument from me on that score.
140.
Yeah, Ted is still here. He was supporting Keegan Brown earlier, wearing another pair of naughty socks. He had hot dogs on his socks today.
Well, it's nice to know he brings more than one pair for a weekend. Not sure we can say that about all dart players in history.
I know one dart player who never used to take one pair.
140.
Not going to get into that.
No, let's not. Now this would apply some pressure. Some serious pressure.
That first dart is very precarious.
And he wasn't moving any quicker, was he, Ronnie? You felt quite confident that was staying in the board. Cristo Reyes confident about this one. He only gets one dart in the middle.
60.
And he doesn't hit it. And R. Huybrechts, it's one of those checkouts in the early stages against Ted Everts yesterday. He was making look very, very simple indeed.
16. Takes a moment. Knows this is important to break Cristo again.
56.
Sigh of relief from Cristo. He'll only be one leg behind if he gets his double 8.
Nine score.
Well, Cristo Reyes is having all sorts of problems here. I can't remember the last time I saw Cristo averaging in the low 80s, even in the high 70s for a lot of this game. If Ronnie doesn't punish him... Oh my word, how far has he missed that by?
Well, that was a Chris Waddle penalty miss. That was a wide. Double 4. It's there. The game has totally changed in the last 60 seconds for me. R. Huybrechts started this match brilliantly. Reyes has snuck back into it with a few good darts and a little bit of fortune. Look at that face. Looks like he's just been given a winning lottery ticket.
Well, he kind of has, because he's a man averaging 79 and he's only 3-2 down.
108!
R. Huybrechts finds a maximum. That's his second.
Rob Malarkey was saying in the last game, Dan, that Cristo Reyes is like the Richard North of Tenerife. He likes to talk.
Well, he may do. I've got no idea what he's saying. But I'll tell you what I do know. That is 6 perfect darts from R. Huybrechts, a man who hit a 9-darter earlier this year.
59.
Can he repeat the feat? 1-4-1 for perfection.
Oh, come on, Ronnie, have a go. We really wanted to see that. And I bet you if he'd hit that, there would have been one epic celebration on the end of it.
There'd have been one in the commentary box.
65.
I nearly passed out when R. Huybrechts did a 9-darter at the UK Open qualifiers at the start of the year. But I tell you what, once again, we have seen R. Huybrechts bounce back from disappointment, missing a whole load of darts in the previous leg, and he's furious with himself and not hitting that treble 20. And he's, look at him, just
game shot on the 6th.
Absolutely fuming.
Whatever has lit the fire under R. Huybrechts, if he keeps playing like this, just keep doing it, because he looks like he's on a mission.
We said yesterday when he was in Ted Everts that he was getting a bit annoyed with himself for not, you know, every dart that he didn't quite find the mark, he was getting annoyed because he knew he was playing well. He's kind of got the demeanour at the minute of a bloke who knows he's in form, he knows he's been playing really well, I assume he's been practising well.
140.
And he's just a bit frustrated that it's not coming out on the big stages, because you'll know as a player, when things are all going great for you and you're in form, you need to make hay while the sun shines, because sometimes you're going to go through periods where you're not, and any win is hard to come by. So when you are in form and you're playing well, you've got to make it count. You've got to be going deep into tournaments, you've got to be picking up ranking money, and you've got to be making the most of it.
That's absolutely true.
44.
And right now, R. Huybrechts is like Kelly Slater on a very nice surfboard riding a wave. He wants to keep going, gathering points.
139.
Well, the number 16 seed here, Cristo Reyes, has barely got an answer from R. Huybrechts today. It's partially down to some very good stuff from R. Huybrechts. It's partially down to some pretty poor stuff from Cristo Reyes. But 2 treble 20s and double 16. Oh, well, he's just straight into the 5s. And Cristo can again cut the gap.
54. Cristo requires 77.
Got to be treble 19. Single 18. Double top.
37.
And now 98 is tricky, but the first dart is a familiar shot. Treble 20 required. and he can go for it. He will go for it. Can he find it? Left or right?
60.
And the dart was in the way.
So you require 40.
There was an argument there for just shifting to the left and opening up the bed a bit. But the leg is closed. Thanks to Reyes' brilliant shot on tops there. Interesting game. And we have a very relaxed Spaniard up there who can't believe that he's only one behind.
Well, he's laughing it off. And look, Christo's in a much more comfortable position than Ronnie, in that he knows he's at the Grand Prix, he knows he's at the European Championship. But I've not seen Christo throw these kind of numbers on a big stage. I don't think ever. He's a far better player than this. And I firmly believe that he's going to win a Pro Tour tournament at some point. He's not going to win a Pro Tour tournament playing like this. But he's still only one leg behind. And we saw from Ronnie yesterday, he put himself in a position to batter Ted Everts, and Ted just managed to creep back into the game and not burying Cristo Reyes in the early stages here when he had a chance to. It may come back and haunt him. This game isn't over. It's been a strange old game, but Cristo Reyes has just about kept in touch with Ronnie Huybrechts, and the Belgian has still got a couple of legs to win.
Sometimes you've got to win slightly ugly.
132.
Reyes is a bit like Real Madrid. I'm not sure what team he supports, actually. That may have been a little bit of an insult to... He could be a Barcelona fan for all I know. But you've got to win when you're not playing your best. And Reyes is not playing his best, but he's got a very real opportunity of drawing level in this leg.
Oh my God.
That is not what he wanted at all.
Well, that has wiped the smile off Cristo Reyes' face there. He's just handed the initiative back to Ronnie Huybrechts. It's probably the best chance that Cristo's had in this match to get level. And it looks like Ronnie...
If he gets himself down to 110 or something with a steady 60, at least he only needs one treble here. He needs two.
Where's he gone? He's gone tops. Well, it looks an inviting lie. I'm not even sure about the decision-making from Cristo Reyes. I can't predict where his darts are going to land. I can't predict what shot he's going to go for. I can predict this.
Shot on the 8th.
And it was utterly predictable. It is 5-3 to Ronnie Huybrechts. And somehow, Cristo Reyes has got to win 3 legs on the spin. Now, playing as he is at the moment, I'm not sure that can happen. Something has to change for Cristo Reyes. And the first 8 legs of this, we've just not seen the real Cristo, I'm afraid.
Well, all sorts of weird things are happening on this hockey. Ronnie Huybrechts wins that leg. Walks straight back thinking it's his throw, and he almost walks into Cristo Reyes and apologises immediately.
Well, we may well have our first casualty among the seeded players here. And it may well be the 16 seed Cristo Reyes, and we could well have another clash between Ronnie Huybrechts and Peter Wright. Peter Wright, of course, his last appearance on the European Tour ended by Ronnie Huybrechts in the second round. A win that meant so much to the Belgian, got him in the Grand Prix, made him safe, or pretty much safe,
97
for the European Championship once you take into account he qualified for this. We're not going to see him in Göttingen, Ronnie Huybrechts.
Peter Wright said to me in Cardiff last week that the darts he used against Ronnie Huybrechts, they're a work in progress.
There's always a work in progress with Peter Wright, his darts.
Something that we'll probably see next year, but he said the rest of the year he's going to stick to the ones he used last week. It wouldn't shock me later on when he's playing Chris Quantock if he had a slightly different setup.
Peter Wright.
60.
If I had to count the number of times Peter Wright has said, these are the darts for me, I would have to take my shoes and socks off to use my toes to count the number of instances that those words have come out of his mouth.
I think you'd have to start counting the hairs on Simon Whitlock's beard as well.
Well, and that is a task. Ronnie Huybrechts looking to set this up because Cristo Reyes, he has taken out a check out of 70. but nothing higher than that. Oh, that's frustrating. But it's still pressure. 18s he's looking at. Great dart. 2 at double 16. Not enjoying that area of the board. But he does find double 16, and Cristo Reyes cuts the gap once more. It is only one leg in it, and it's his biggest checkout of this match so far. But R.Huybrechts throwing for a spot in the final day of action at the Happy Bet International Darts Open, and a potential clash with Peter Snakebite Wright. Wright has got to get past Chris Quantock.
97.
If Reyes wins this game by hook or by crook, that'll be one of those, I don't know how I won that.
Well, certainly I'll be questioning it, but we know that anybody playing here today is quite capable of going back-to-back 12 darters, and that may well be enough. And again, it would kind of be Ronnie's own fault for allowing Cristo to do that, because he should have buried him by now, because he's only averaging 81.
Well,
however,
in a funny sort of way, it's so similar to the game yesterday with Ted Everts, isn't it?
It kind of is, yeah.
He's a better player, and he's been pegged back 85. By someone who's had a few errant shots, but they're still there.
Yeah, they're still there, and there's still, you know, only 12 points difference. Oh, this is a great, great dart. And you can see how annoyed he is.
140.
I don't think you'll see a better recovery dart than that, because he's had to move. He's found a part of the bed that he probably couldn't see.
Ronnie require 124.
And Reyes hasn't applied the pressure. There's no need to use the bullseye route here for R.Huybrechts. If this doesn't go, he should set it up. Looking at the 18s, 4 of them. Raising the eyebrows.
98.
What? Okay, Ronnie. Where is old school R.Huybrechts? With a double 13?
100. Ronnie requires 20.
He won't be bothered if he hits it. But what he doesn't want to do is put one outside and one on the inside.
Well, he doesn't, and he pins double 13. Some odd decision-making for the old school R.Huybrechts. And some odd darts from Cristo Reyes. Not the Spartan we have become used to seeing, particularly on these Euro Tour stages. But the first seeded casualty of this weekend's action here in Reyes, and R.Huybrechts is Cristo Reyes' conqueror. He goes through to the final day once again on the European Tour, and it could well be Peter Wright whom he faces. Wright will take on Chris Quantock tonight. We've got 2 more games for this afternoon for you. And 3 Yorkshiremen in action. It's an all-Yorkshire clash between Joe Cullen and Richie Corner. That'll round things off. But first, it's Huddersfield's Peter Jakes, the Terrier, against the number 9 seed and former finalist here, Benito van der Pas.
Even though, congratulations, and compared to Kim, you don't look happy.
No, it was a bad game. It's difficult when you play against a friend. You don't find the aggression and the focus. I don't know.
That's funny. Yeah, because in World Cup you are such a great team, you both.
Then we practice together. Yeah. But
you should think about that.
Yeah, maybe. We practiced together in the past, but then you move to another country and don't practice anymore. And now here, I practice with Jermaine or Mike the Decker or something like that, but not with my brother. I don't know why, but
that's the thing, yeah. Both Huybrechts are through. Congratulations. See you tomorrow again. R.Huybrechts. Der sagt, ich habe früher mal mit Kim trainiert, inzwischen